If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call?
ComicGains!
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, fantastic, exciting episode of ComicGains! If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Royal Highness, looking very lovely today, just like usual. Do that princess way, so you do it too. Bow to respect, and of course, there's a Coco dog right there. Whee!
Howling at the moon.
Howling at the moon.
I want to see her howl at the moon. All right, guys, we are back on this awesome Monday with a brand new list of comics that are dropping. Because that's what we do. Every week we scour the internet for trending lists, hot lists, any kind of speculatory list. And we wait 1 year and we try to see which of those books have dropped in price. For any number of reasons, because people forgot about them, or a movie was bad, or a TV show was bad, or sometimes a movie was good and they still go down for some weird reason. But we try to figure that out for you, and we get you those numbers, those digits. We only have 6. We have one more number. We have a full phone number. Right? We're almost there. We're almost there.
That's to think about.
You know what we also do on Monday?
We drink a beer.
We get thirsty.
Because we get thirsty.
You gotta quench that.
This is something you've seen before, and you'll see it again, because this is my favorite drink to get when I forget to grab another drink. This is Excelsior Passion Fruit Pineapple, guys.
See, that was Stan Lee's favorite drink?
Yes, it was. Up until the day he sadly passed away. Excelsior! And he got crunk. It's delicious. It's nutritious. Probably not, but it's 8.4%. Somewhere in here is a 0.2, and 0.2 is the best part.
You know also the best part is?
Yeah, I know.
Hanging out with us on Whatnot. Every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You get to hang out with Adam and Zach on our show, ComicGains. And if you stay on a little bit later, for the Princess of Gains has her very own show that she hosts. Is on at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget, this week, one more Thursday. Adam and Zach will be on Thursday this week instead of Saturday. So come hang out with us. Hour-long show. We got another slab to give away. Princess might have a special pop-up this week, so make sure that you're in tune with her pop-up. I don't think she will be on Saturday this week either. But back to the list, back to the gains, and back to the dropping. All right, guys. So, like I said, we like to compile the top 5 dropped comics of the week, and these were all comics that were hot or trending a year ago. And so we have them in order from the least drop to the most drop. And as you make it to the very end of the show, you get to hear Zach's pick of the week, and it's not just his nose; it's sometimes his favorite book. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll get 2 books.
2 books
for the price of 1.
Ooh.
So let's start it out at the incredible number 5, and we're talking Hulk here, issue 449. This was a very, very hot book 1 year ago. Came out in 1996, written by the great Peter David and artwork done by Mike Deodato Jr. And this is the first team appearance of the Thunderbolts, led by Baron Zemo, and I believe they're actually pretending to be heroes when they first come out, working for Thaddeus Ross, and then they're later discovered to be mainly villains that are on the Thunderbolts team doing his dirty work. And this book has gotten hot for a lot of reasons over the past couple years. I think we've all had an inkling that something was going to happen with the Thunderbolts. Back in 2019, we knew that there was a Thunderbolt movie in development, or TV show. I don't think in 2019 we didn't quite know what it was going to be, but we had a lot of guesses of hey, we've already seen Thaddeus Ross and the Thunderbolts are probably coming. Then we found out last year during San Diego Comic-Con that the Thunderbolts were going to end Phase 5 as the, Avengers type movie for Phase 5. So it's not only just going to be a little thing, it's going to be a big, big thing. And, I was kind of surprised this wasn't a bigger drop. It was number 5 on the list. But just a couple notes on this thing, guys, that we have learned. This is horrible paper. At this time period in 1996, Marvel used some pretty junky paper. So it's a very difficult book to get in a 9.8, which is probably why it has been kind of coveted in a 9.8. It's also, there's a newsstand version. So if you're lucky enough to find that newsstand, it is quite a bit more expensive. So keep the eye out for the newsstand and the high grade. All those ones had those flip out pages, it was kind of where the thing trifold out. All those were crappy paper. Come on, Marvel.
What are they thinking about?
Hit him, Zach. Hit him straight.
All right, price a year ago for this incredible Savage book was $660 for a CGC 9.8. Now it's $456. The range is $298 to as high as $2,160.
Whoa.
Someone had extra bonus that year or day or month. I don't know how bonuses work. I don't get them. But average sale is $527. It's a 31% drop. This is a decent book. It's a decent team. Cover I wish was a little bit different in design, but it's a nice cover. I like it. It's definitely one of those books to consider to add into your collection.
It's only on a lull right now, too, guys, because we haven't even had a preview for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know what the lineup is, not most of the lineup, but there's still, once that preview hits, this book is going to be right back on the top of the trending list again, or probably on the hot list as well for a lot of people's lists.
As Paris Hilton says, that's so hot.
I think that's going to be becoming what you say. You're going to be taking that.
ComicGains says, that's so hot.
All right, next up on the list, we need a little DC goodness, and Batman graces the list of the drop list every once in a while. We got Batman 423 from 1988, guys, and there is not a lot that needs to be said about this book. It just looks glorious. You got Jim Starlin, who a lot of times we forget Jim Starlin wrote this book too. But Todd McFarlane art on this cover and art as well. It's just a flat out iconic Batman cover. I think for a lot of people, it's some people's favorite Batman cover. And I guess it's some cool stuff. If you look closely at it, it's unfinished. There's a nice big white spot right in the middle of the cover too that you didn't even realize they forgot to color in the yellow there. And then in an interview you get to see with Todd where he talks about this book, he actually didn't have enough time to do this, so that's why he made the cape so crazy and big so he could do it quicker. And it just ended up becoming iconic because he didn't want to draw the bodies underneath, so he made the cape cover all the bodies.
He didn't want to draw the bats either. They're just a basic outline with a couple lines in it.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
And it just has gone down in history. But every once in a while, this book gets some heights, and keep it in point. There is a newsstand that's more expensive than direct. There's a Canadian that's more expensive than the direct. There's a second and third print, which should be cheaper than the first print. So note that if you get the second or third print, they're cheaper. The reason this book was a little bit hotter than it normally was last year is that MegaCon that came out with that of 2022. They came out with that nice foil edition that was it's more expensive than the regular book, which is crazy to me. But that made the regular copy jump up, and we're looking at a year later, it went down, but this is still kind of a modern blue chip key. Definitely. And Zach will hit you with those prices.
Man,
with
this
the
is McFarlane, Batman Bezanza. Prices a year ago for a CGC 9.8, I don't think that made it, was $3,200. Now it's $2,200. It's a crazy expensive book. Range is $1,800 to $3,200. Average sale is $2,332, and that's for the direct edition. This is crazy expensive. I don't know exactly why it's so expensive because it doesn't come with a key, but it comes with a little piece of your heart. As soon as you see it, it absorbs into it and you want it. $2,000 something, a little steep, but if you got that change, you got that cheddar, I consider that. It's getting those gains. Nah, I was gonna say something about Joker and he gets the last laugh or something. I don't know. Let's continue. That's a bad joke.
These jokes are not pre-written, guys.
These are not pre-written. No.
These next jokes were definitely pre-written because you got number 3. You got the real Ghostbusters,
not like the fake Ghostbusters.
Yeah, not the fake ones. I know it's surprising that the name the real Ghostbusters, issue number 1, also from 1988. Must have been a good year. Now Comics, because now you don't want them later. These are now. This is Ken Stacy and James Van Hise working on this The Real Ghostbusters number 1. This is actually the first team appearance of the Ghostbusters in U.S. comics. I'm not really sure what other version of comics they would have been in first. Maybe if you guys know, leave that down below in the comments. But this was actually the comic book version is adapted from that awesome cartoon that if you're an 80s kid like myself, you definitely watched the cartoon. It was amazing. Slimer was actually part of the team. He was not a villain. So I know in the movie he's actually one of the bad guys, but in the cartoon he actually, I I think he lived in their house with them and went on all the chases. So, and Egon had blonde hair, which in the movie he did not have blonde hair, which was a little bit different. But I think it's a very cool thing that this book is actually kind of expensive. It's over $50 in Rod. Zach will hit you with those 9-8 numbers in a minute. But back in June of 2022, we got a notion that Jason Reitman was brought on to direct. Who was the director of Afterlife, is working on an animation for Netflix for this as well. So they're going to bring back a cartoon. That this book took a big jump. Let's see if Zach can name all the Ghostbusters. Can you name all 4?
I can't. No.
Any of them?
None of them. Lou?
Spangler?
Patrick? Bill Burr? That's
Egon?
an actor. That's an actor right there.
But,
oh yeah.
More importantly, you see if we can get those numbers.
It was getting real serious a year ago for a CGC 9.8 at $1,000, a cool $1,000. Now, it's getting real ghost-like thing. I don't know where I'm going with that. It was $599 for a CGC 9.8. I had in my head. Range is $500 to $1,000. Average sale is $615.
Wow.
This book has been slimed. There we go. This book has been slimed. That's ha ha ha. Wait, did I still
don't cross the stream?
Whatever.
Don't cross the stream.
It's a 40% drop, guys, and that's fairly significant. This is a book that needs to be a part of your wall of tribute of Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm. If you love Ghostbusters and you're missing this book, you need this in your collection. Other than that, it's nice to have. So be on the lookout and don't be afraid of no ghosts.
Don't forget, Zach. If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Yes. The god of games.
All right. Enough joking around here. We gotta get back to the list. And number 2 on the list is our good friend Peter Parker and the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 99. I was surprised this was this high on the list. When we were coming up with this, Prince was actually like, this has got to be trending right now. Oh, and guess what? It's on the drop list. High on the drop list. Al Milgrom doing the artwork and the story on this book. And this is from 1985 as well, so we're still in the 80s here. I've actually had this copy since I was a young lad, and I've kept it with me over the years. Pretty cool. This is the second appearance and first cover of The Spot, Jonathan Ohm, who we've seen recently in Across the Spider-Verse. I think we all knew he was going to be it. A lot of people speculated he was going to be a minor villain. It seems like he might be kind of one of the more major villains, not to ruin any story for you. But if you guys are confused about The Spot like I have been in the past, I'll run these keys down for you in case you wanted to know. He has a lot of good keys. So Spectacular Spider-Man issue 94 is the cameo of Jonathan Ohm. 97 is the first full appearance of Jonathan Ohm. 98 is the first full appearance of The Spot, which that's kind of the money book. 99 is first cover, and the 100th issue, the anniversary one, is just a awesome blue and black and white cover of The Spot, which just looks cool. It's kind of a Spot key. It's kind of not, but I think it looks cool. So keep an eye out for all those books. Kind of nice. One villain has like 5 keys to go along with it. Who else can say that? True. Who else? Zach can. Zach will tell you.
Price a year ago, it was the hot spot at $541 for a CGC 9.8. And then now it's at $290. It is the period at the end of the sentence. It is the end. It got as low as $61 and as high as $541. Average sale is $332. It's a 46% drop. Spot has dropped, and now you need to stop and opt out. Cop out.
Get out of Spot.
Dot out. No, that's not that.
He's still gonna be in the next movie.
Flop out.
He's gonna be in the next.
Flop it out.
He could come back.
Don't flop it out. Don't. That's how you get arrested. Anyways, consider this book to be a part of your collection. Just don't pay too much.
It is, to me though, it is a little fun that like this was basically $1 book.
Yes.
And all the keys were close to $1 bin book like 5 years ago. So they'll at least, whatever they get up to, they'll never go back to being $1 book. So it's kind of nice, you know, especially if you enjoyed the movie. It's good to keep the keys along with you. All right. Next up on the list, and this is first to the drop list ever, an anime book type type book. We have a free comic book day from 2016. One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, issue number 1. This is Yazuki Murata. Did the, as far as I can tell, did the artwork on this. I believe is the artist on this book. And I'll have to digress to Zach on this one on a little bit of stuff, because I don't know that much about anime. But I know that this is the first appearance of One Punch Man in U.S. comics, and it's also the first appearance of My Hero Academia in U.S. comics. So they both showed up in Shogun Jumps before this.
Yes.
So pretty cool. Like how often you get a double key in a free comic book day is pretty amazing. But there's a lot of things to go along with this. You got April of 2020. Sony has plans for a live action One Punch Man, possibly to be directed by Justin Lin, who, if you guys are not familiar with that, is the director of most of the recent Fast and the Furious. So take that however you want to take. It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. He did Fast 5. I love Fast 5. He also did Fast X, which I don't think very many people like Fast X, but take that as a B. My Hero Academia is also in line for a live action, which was announced in August of December 2021, and recently enough, in December of 2022, Netflix has jumped on to produce the series as well. See, so both of these are getting a little love recently, but as you well know, when you get love, sometimes you get on the drop list, maybe.
Right.
Sometimes that happens. Zach will have to give you more of an update on both of these characters, though, because I know nothing about it.
First we're talking about prices. It was bold and beautiful. It was selling for $600 for a CTC 9.8 a year ago. Now it's selling for $237. It's a consideration book. You gotta consider buying it for that price. It has been as low as $137 and as high as $600. Average sales $358. It's a 60% drop. The whole synopsis of this is, it was a regular guy that decides, I want to be a hero. So he does 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and then something kilometers. I don't know what kilometers are. We're in America. Why do we need to worry about kilometers? There's a conversion rate. Just tell me the conversion, okay? And he did that for over 100 days. His hair fell out. Right, he had a beautiful set of hair. His hair fell out, and suddenly he's like super powerful. And he's trying to convince everybody that that's all he did. It's like, what's your secret? It's like, just that. It's just that. And no one believes him, because he's like the number one superhero that no one knows about. It's hilarious. Yeah, he can beat anybody with one punch. Huh. He's overpowered, really overpowered, but in a funny way. You gotta check out the show. Oh yeah.
Which one's better?
I would say My Hero Academia is slightly better, because the story is probably written a little bit, but like for comedy effect, One Punch Man is pretty good too. It's like it goes hand in hand. You gotta watch both shows. If you like one, you're gonna like the other.
All right, that's a good recommendation. All right, time for the final pick of the week. Zach, this is a tough one for you, buddy. There's a lot of ones you like on here.
There's a lot of ones you want. For the classic, I think the classic pickup probably would be Batman 423. I think that would be the safest book on this list to get consistent gains.
Nobody would be mad if you bought that book.
No one's going to. Now, if you're going to make some, crazy potential gains, it could be Hulk 449. It could be. I don't see any super bargains on this, so I'm just gonna stick with Batman 423. If you get that book for at least somewhat of a decent deal, you're gonna be happy with the results. I guarantee it.
I don't know why it's so hard to find it in high grade.
Yeah.
Seems like it is. Seems like it is. 1988. I feel like there'd be higher grade conditions of that.
The only thing I can say about the red cover is that it's very susceptible. It's very noticeable when it gets sun bleached, right? When it gets in the sun, it lowers that really popping red very easily, unlike other colors. I would say.
I can see that. Especially when you're holding two right next to each other and one's brighter than the other. That can be the case. All right, guys. As usual, if you like and love the show as much as Coco, all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit Hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. We will be live this Wednesday, so come hang out with the Gains crew. And yeah, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of this week's drop list. If you're hunting for any of these books or not, whether do you like One Punch Man or My Hero Academia? And Zach, take us away.
Yeah, you gotta share how you do that. So you have to read from a weird book that causes demons to come to your house, and then you gotta fight those demons, and then you gotta put the book away, and then somehow later you lose a hand, put a chainsaw on it, so you're kind of like Chainsaw Man, but kind of more of a corny one. I mean, very wide difference in time right there, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's how you become, I believe his name is Bruce Campbell? Ash from
the
Evil Dead. The Necronomicon. I would love to go to that one. The Necronomicon Con.
Necronomicon Con? Con.
It's double the con.
Alright,
double
guys.
the con for the price of one.
Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember,
Get those necro gains.
get 'em.
Every single one.